G'day Reefers, I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Welcome to Gallery Aquatica TV. Today we're back for part 5 of the SPS Mothership. This massive project is finally underway and we've actually started to get some fish and corals into the SPS Mothership. We're going to continue to move livestock into this tank and we're going to show you one of our most favourite fish of all time. So you've seen us fill the SPS Mothership, you've seen us put the lights up and the plumbing and that sort of thing, but we've also started to move livestock from our old pond system into the SPS Mothership. Now this is going to be a temporary situation only. We're going to put our pond system connected to the SPS Mothership to create one mega system. And when we do that, all of the corals that are in here and the corals we're about to move in here are going to go back into the ponds. But we're only halfway through adding the livestock into this into the SPS Mothership. So we're going to show you exactly how we move the livestock from the pond, or the second pond, into the SPS Mothership. We've got some interesting ideas on how to create racks, and we're going to show you the fish that are going in here. So we previously had a 2-pond system that has done the job for a couple of years now, but it's never been exactly what we wanted. And so the idea is that we're going to link these 2 ponds onto the SPS Mothership and create a mega system. We're going to have more water, better stability, and these ponds will be excellent for onions fragging and for the frag files. So we're definitely going to get back into showing you more about fragging techniques from the expert Anya herself. But this is the first pond, and we emptied it out. We took all the water out, we took all the fish and the corals, and we've put them into the SPS Mothership. We've been really careful to make sure we got every single fish and every single snail and every single coral, but it's empty now. So now we have the second pond, and today we're moving the livestock from the second pond into the SPS Mothership. So what we're going to do to facilitate the corals being put into the SPS Mothership, we're going to turn the return pump off. This return pump churns heaps of flow around the SPS Mothership, and it makes it really hard to keep the corals stable on the racks. Now we're also going to turn off the protein skimmer, which is something else which is new on the SPS Mothership. We'll have a look at that in a sec. But before we do any of this, I want to show you a very special fish, and it's a fish which has been with us for quite some time, and we've finally given her the space that she really deserves. Her name is the whale, and we call her that because she is so big. Now, the whale has only been in here for a few days, but she loves her dry seaweed, and so I've got some, and I'll just show you how tame the whale is. She loves the dry seaweed and she eats heaps of it. We go through at least a pack a week, as well as we also give her frozen food, marine green she loves. She eats marine green, frozen food, a full cube at a time. Now she's a yellowfin tang, Acanthurus xenopterus or something or other. We looked her up. She's very similar to a Dusumeri, which is more well known. And these guys, or these girls, both of them, they get really big. So she's only about half fully grown. So she needs a bit of conditioning. Unfortunately, she had to wait a while before she went into this big tank, but I'm so glad to have her in there now. And we're really focusing on getting her well fed so that she can continue to grow and love the SPS Mothership. But she really is a special fish, so we love the whale, and I'm glad to see her in here. We've also added a few damsels, a couple of talbot damsels, a blue-tailed, yellow-tailed dam, and there's also a fox face along with the corals. So let's have a quick look at the protein skimmer that we've put in the SPS Mothership. This skimmer is a temporary skimmer, and we had this on the pond system. It's doing the job okay, but I really look forward to when we can have a skimmer which is more appropriately rated to the volume of this mega system that we're creating. But for now, we're going to turn off the skimmer, off the return pump, and we'll start to transfer some of the corals from the old pond. So you can see that we've got the corals on the egg crate, which is actually propped up with milk crates. And what we need to do is effectively put the new coral also on egg crates, on milk crates. So we just have to make a little bit of space. Now, this is the hard part, ensuring that we don't knock any of the corals over. In fact, what I'll do, I'll push this one to the back, and that will create space for us to put a new rack under here. Now, I'm also keen to get the coral from the second pond into this tank so that we can take the last of the hydras off the old pond. I'm really looking forward to having more hydras on here. We're still using our AI blade, and it's actually doing an amazing job. Given the number of corals in the spread, I'm really happy with how it's doing. But the hydras are really going to be the star of the show, so we just need to get the rest of the corals into the SPS Mothership, and then we can put the last of the hydras on the system. All right, so I've made space there. So we've got space for a rack here, and we've got space for 3 racks over there. So let's go to the pond and have a look. So I'm hoping, all right, so this is a Zoa rack. So I'm hoping that I can take this Zoa rack in one go. And this one is going to be low. Whoa. I'm going to put this front left. So these are pretty much all Sakura Sunrise and things that we're not hugely worried about, but I will need to put another prime over it, and I may need to prop that one up on a second rack. But for now, I just want the corals in the tank so that we can decommission that second pond and take its hydras. All right, so the next one. So we've got some really cool GSP, two different color forms. Now, I think I'm just going to chuck these on that Zoa rack for now. It's going to be a bit hard to see because of the position of this Zoa rack, but just dump them there because the prime spot that I'm going to be using is over here, and there's going to be one stacked too high and over there also stacked too high. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to join the rack that I pull out of the pond onto this milk crate, and then I'm going to go in that back spot there. But I need to act quick because the corals are going to be out of the water. And this might not even work. Okay. I didn't realise this rack was so cut up. It's really only got these small feet. It's going to be difficult to zip tie into. I'll see what I can do. I really want it sitting high. That's not going to work. All right, well, this will be a low one. We'll probably have to move a lot of these corals off this rack because it's going to be so deep that it's not going to get a lot of light. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to attach this one. Boy, this is not an easy job. Well, here's an acro. Probably haven't seen this acro in a long time. It's so big. Oh, here we go. It'll be better there. Oh, maybe not. Okay, well these are all the low light things. So these would definitely be okay low in the tank. Let's hope it fits. This is more difficult than I thought it would be. Anyway, we've got the bulk of things in there. We've got one more rack. So this is a Leptocerus. They do better in low light typically. I'm hoping that this is going to be enough light for it down there. And I'm hoping that it doesn't cause that rack to go on its side. Okay. All right. Just going to sit this one here. Nice red scroll, as you can see. Okay, that'll do. Right, the red scroll. All right, so we've removed all of our racks from the second pond, and they're all in the SPS Mothership. So now all we have to do is drain this pond down, make sure we get all the little creatures out. There's sea stars, there's snails, there's fish in this pond, and get them moved all into the SPS Mothership. But the main part that I wanted to achieve is done. So let's turn the return pump on and the skimmer and get the SPS Mothership back online. Let's have a quick chat about what we're going to do with the SPS Mothership in the future, because really this is just the very, very start of the whole project. First of all, we're going to get the old ponds decommissioned. They're going to be out the door and gone. We'll have a lot more space then. We'll have all of our corals in the SPS Mothership temporarily. The ponds will then come back in. They will be against the wall over on that side. In the meanwhile, we're actually going to clad the inside of this shed. We have a heap of work to do, and it's not just all in the fish tanks and ponds and motherships. It's also the whole shed. We're going to insulate, we're going to clad the walls. So really, this is a huge project, and we're just at the very start of it. But for now, it's all about keeping the corals happy and healthy in the SPS Mothership, getting the old ponds out, and then we can, and once we've actually moved all of the corals from the SPS Mothership back into the ponds when they're on this mega system, what we're going to do is we're going to get Shed Boy to create some big Shed Boy scapes that we're going to place in the SPS Mothership to create the display tank that it was always meant to be. So that's it for today's episode of Gallery Aquatica TV and an update on the SPS Mothership. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little vlog update on how we're going with this project. We can't wait to bring you more episodes in the future. Thanks for watching. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing. Me. That's it for this week's episode of Gallery Aquatica TV. Don't forget to like and comment on all our videos and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned to Gallery Aquatica TV for more exciting episodes to come. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing!